Hello everyone, Ryan's Bullpen Sports Cards back with another video. And tonight I wanted to do a video because I received a cool pre-war card that is a non-sport card for my collection. It is my first non-sport pre-war card for my collection and just received it today and thought I would go ahead and share it with you guys and do a quick video regarding it. I'm going to tie this card in with some of my pre-war baseball cards that I have in my collection. So hopefully everyone enjoys this. I think it's a neat addition. Gonna go off on a little different. As I mentioned, it is a non-sport card. However, I'm going to talk about my great state of Kansas, where I am born. I've been a citizen here my entire life here in the state of Kansas, and just wanted to kind of give you some information because this card's going to tie in to the state of Kansas. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a little bit of information about the state of Kansas and then show you what card I received, and then I'm going to show you some pre-war players that I have in my collection and just kind of how I'm going to tie that in. And eventually, as I start acquiring more Kansas-born players, just really start to build the Kansas collection. And something that I look forward to going through and going down, especially in the pre-war side of it. And so just kind of wanted, like I said, kind of give some information about it. Kansas is the sunflower state or the wheat state, knowingly. It became a state on January 29, 1861, when it entered the Union. It entered it as a free state or a slave state. And so there was a lot of controversy, a lot of fighting that took place, and as it became known as bleeding Kansas. So on this card, it shows a great motto, and it's ad astra per aspera. That is the motto for Kansas, and what that means is to the stars through difficulty. So basically what that entails was just the difficulty of trying to get through the time at that point, as it was a free state and all the fighting that was taking place. And so I will go ahead and now show the card. It is from a unique set that I found when I was browsing eBay, and I thought I saw it and I was just kind of taken back by it. It is now the oldest card in my collection, and it is the 1888 N224 Kinney Military Series Kansas card. So hopefully it's showing up good for you guys, but it's got a deep gold background, and just in the middle of it, if you notice on the Kansas flag, when you look at the Kansas flag, what's in the middle of this card is on the state flag. So just a really cool card in my opinion, and I just love this card. And I think it's going to tie well into, showing pre-war baseball cards as well as collecting cards from my state, Kansas. So just like I said, and here's the back of it. Now it does have a little bit of staining at the top of it, but basically this set was to promote Sweet Caparel cigarettes, and they were trade cards at that time, obviously. And so it was from the Kinney Tobacco Company. From the Kinney Tobacco Company Military Series cards. Sorry for the glare, just trying to get a good view of it for you guys. So there were 622 different cards, and what little bit of research I was able to find, it is considered in many ways to be the non-sport equivalent and significance and intrigue to the N172 Old Judge or the T206 cards from that time era. And so, and what article I did find, it said the complete set is unheard of just because there's a lot of rarities in it. And it did mention of an individual that is knowing that has 621 of the 622 cards, but that's kind of a rarity, they said, as there's not very many people that are close to completing this set. None of these are graded with SGC, and 3 of these are graded with PSA. So, just an intriguing card for my collection. When I found it on eBay, I saw it. I thought it was in good shape. The gold really shows up really good. There was not much chipping on the front of it. So that's what led me to wanting to acquire this card. And like I said, I just wanted it, as a great piece for my Kansas collection. I feel like that's, this is kind of the beginning, and showing, if I want to show pre-war baseball cards, I can kind of start with this, and especially the Kansas-born players, I can kind of lead up to this and lead up to some of, what I do add throughout the, the years as we're going through the pre-war sets. And so since this card is promoting Sweet Caparel cigarettes, I know this is not a Kansas-born player, but I just wanted to share this one because it's my only Sweet Cap back. And this one is of Gavy Cravith. Now this T206 card is just incredible of Gavy Cravith, I think. I love that sunset background. Lots of great color on this one. And this one's in pretty good shape. And I tell you, if you can find a good copy of this card, that is just incredible to look at, in my opinion. So these next few are Kansas-born players, and so that's what I'm going to kind of use this card as like I said, a beginner, and showing some pre-war stuff in my collection. If people ever want to look at pre-war cards that were especially born in the state of Kansas. So, as most of you know, recently I've shared this. This is the T206 Walter Johnson portrait. Phenomenal, iconic baseball card right here. Really, this one, in my opinion, is tough to beat in the T206 set. Just that yellow background, just what type of player he was, pitcher he was, just iconic. Probably one of the best pitchers of all time. And he was born in my state, so even cooler. In Humboldt, Kansas. So, next one I'll go show is this 1929 Cashin Publications George Grantham. So just another one that was born in Kansas. And, I like, this set's great. These Cashins are great. As Jason, everyday card collector, he enjoys these. So, and I do too. I think they're a phenomenal set. And I got a great deal on this one, so I couldn't pass this one up at all. And then this last one is John Buddy Ryan, as I spoke in one of my previous episodes. And he was born in Plainville, Kansas. And so, just like I said, just wanted to show some of my Kansas-born pre-war cards. There's a few more that I'm eyeing that I would love to add. Beals Becker was born in Kansas. Eldon Ocker, and then there was also Joe Tinker. And so those are just a few, those 3 right there, I would like to add a card of for my Kansas pre-war collection. Just really think if I could, start building even more Kansas-born players in the pre-war collection. It'll just make me feel going down a different avenue towards it, and another way of enjoying the hobby, and that's something that I look forward to. And so, like I said, just super excited to add this card. And like I said, it is now the oldest card in my collection, 1888, 136 years, and I think that's a phenomenal card in condition-wise for a card that's 136 years old. And so, hopefully everyone enjoyed it. I know Kansas isn't the most exciting state to talk about, but it is, it is my state. I've lived here my entire life, born and raised here, and so just using this hobby and collecting players and that from this great state, and just sharing that and showing you guys cards from that, the different pre-war sets is something that, like I said, just really excites me. And so I just wanted to share this card with you guys. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Thank you and have a good evening. We'll talk to you later.